Yay, yay, yay. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our reading of the Residual Life. Today is November 13th, and we are in the 11th month of the year, closing out the year. And I have a visitor here. So if you would be kind enough to drop in the chat that you're tuning in, put hashtag live and let us know, or hashtag replay if you happen to be coming in on the replay. So we know who you are and say, welcome, 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 give you a shout out. This is in the group. This is not out on my public profile. So if you're worried about somebody seeing you here, it's okay. It's just the people in the group that are going to see that you were here. If you put your name in there, if you don't, nobody will know you were ever here. So if that's what you have to do, that's fine. No one's going to tell you you can't be here because you don't want anybody to know you are, but we'd be so happy to know who you are. So, hey, Brittany, how are you doing all the way from Hawaii, little Miss Brittany? Such a precious, precious, precious child of God she is. She's absolutely precious. And if you don't know Brittany, I recommend you connect with her, go over there, send her a friend request, and see some of the wonderful things that she's doing in her life to encourage others, which is what we all should be doing and hopefully aspiring to do, not just to be building a business, but encouraging other people in their life. Love on them when they need it. Encourage them. Happy birthday. Thank you. I love the card you put on my profile. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. This is your Sunday night and you're here for this reading. So we are going to jump into The Residual Life by Michelle Schaefer. She is a network marketer. She has received countless awards as a network marketing professional. She's a master trainer and multiple seven-figure earner with over 15 years, including working on the corporate side along with mentors who have led the industry for 30 plus years. She's passionate about teaching people the power of leverage and residual income. And she is passionate about God being her CEO of her life and her business. So we will get started on chapter 8, which is what it takes. Always bear in mind that your resolution to succeed is more important than any other. And that is from Abraham Lincoln. I'm going to give it to you straight with no fluff. In your first year in this profession, you are going to want to quit more than once, even 10 times. This isn't abnormal. This is part of the journey. If you make it through your first year and never felt like quitting, you are different from most people, and I would guess you didn't really fully engage. There will come a time when you want to throw in the towel, but if you really desire the freedom that comes from successfully building your network marketing empire, you will need to decide now that you are in this for the long haul. I'm about to give you some specifics of what it takes to earn six figures in a year in this profession. Now, I'm not arrogant enough to think my ways are the only ways, but what I have done works. Bobby has always said, everything works, just not all the time and not for everyone. Meaning you never know what video, which social media post, which website, which opportunity call, which event, etc., will grab somebody's attention. You can't possibly know when the timing will be right for your prospect. Use all of them. It is a matter of consistently getting information to as many people as possible, doing it repeatedly until the timing is right for them. And I'm going to tell you what I have done 3 separate times to grow my network marketing business to 6 figures as fast as possible. And I just want to throw a disclaimer in there, guys. This content that she's providing to us is not just for network marketers, because when you're building a business, it's for anyone building a business, whether you're a coach, a service provider, or an affiliate marketer even. You have to keep going. You can't give up. You can't just jump out because something didn't go the way you wanted it to. And it's true with any other kind of business as well. So number 1, decide. Be committed to 12 months of consistent action as your first target. It is incredibly important to understand that this takes time. You must give yourself enough time to learn and develop the skills. Far too many quit far too soon. Don't be one of them. Talk to your family and share with them the vision that you have for them and your commitment to getting it done. Get buy-in from them to help keep you accountable and to support you on your journey. When I joined my first network marketing company, life was already busy. I worked in a salon 50 to 60 hours a week, and Bobby owned a mortgage company. My oldest daughter was a freshman in high school. My son was in middle school, and our baby girl went to daycare. On any given day, we were off in 5 different directions. Life was moving very fast. Once I decided to go for it, Bobby and I sat down with the kids and had a family meeting. We said, we know that everyone is busy right now, but it's going to get even busier. We are going to be gone even more than we are now, but the goal is in 6 months that mom and dad will be home twice as much. We are going to need your help. You'll be heating more frozen pizza for dinner, getting less help with homework. We are going to need more help with the baby and the chores. But if we all can stick it out, everyone's lives will be better. We painted a picture of why we were going to have an even harder, busier life than we ever did. We wanted them to know that it wouldn't last forever. Though I was, or though it was only for a season, and it would be worth it for them and for us. We shared a 6-month timeline with them, thanked them for doing this with us because the reward would be great. And I have to say to those of you that are catching the replay or here live and not understanding what it means by including your families into your business, if you have not had that one-on-one conversation with, if it's just a spouse saying, this is what I want to do, and I believe in me, and I believe I can do this, and I really could use your support. But if you haven't had that conversation yet and you're still struggling, what are you waiting for? Because if your spouse cares enough about you, they will want what you want, and they will be your best supporter. And if you're not getting that support at home, then that's, there's people in this Facebook group. You can connect with me, connect with other people that will help encourage you, cheer you on, and help you to try to stay focused on your passion and your journey. So here's a tip. Share the vision with your family on how this will benefit all of them so that you can get their support. Why? I had very emotional reasons why each time I began building my business. I had a fiery sense of urgency. Grit is born from the kind of why that is wrapped around a financial need. Grit is born when your need is big and urgent. I share this with you a second time because you need to identify and know this for your journey. You need to dig deep and feel the emotion behind the actions that you will be taking. I have yet to meet a top leader who began their journey with no need. In fact, many were in dire situations. Most needed a change and they needed it quickly. In my case, I was desperate. I needed to be making things happen for my family and it needed to happen fast. That drove me to take massive action. It drove me past fears and insecurities. The need, the why, was bigger than any reason I had to slow down, stop, or quit. It was actually a blessing that my need was so prevalent. I was in a do or die situation who left me with one option: to make this work at all costs. Building a tribe. Never underestimate the power of a small group of committed people to change the world. In fact, it is the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. I began actively seeking out people I could partner with right away. I knew that I needed to begin finding people who wanted to change their lives as well. I am constantly asked if I lead with the opportunity or the products. My answer to that is yes. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Do you lead with opportunity or do you lead with product? She says, yes, both. One does not exist without the other, but truth be told, I lead my conversation with the vision. I cast a vision for people of their future desire. How do I know what that is? I ask a lot of questions. Once I know the future they desire, I begin to paint a detailed picture of how that can become a reality. Finding customers to use your products is very easy. If you have products that work great, and I am assuming you do, then people are going to want to use them. Finding business partners is a little more challenging, but one committed business partner can bring you hundreds and even thousands of new customers. It takes the same amount of effort and words to cast a vision of a better life as it does to share an excellent product testimony. I have never been a monster enroller, but I am great at finding people who catch the vision. I am always strategically looking for partners. Once I find them, it's go time. Each time I began a build over the years, it was urgency. How much activity could I compress into small pockets of time I had in my days? What does that activity look like for me? For me, it always starts with immediate circle. I help other people talk to those in their circles, family, friends, those that they know, their warm market. Before you get too nervous, it is a natural thing to talk to them first. If you opened a traditional brick and mortar business, hopefully those would be the people that would know all about it before you held your grand opening. It's unnatural to avoid talking to them. Next, I help them schedule events in their home on a Zoom call or one-on-one get-togethers within their first 14 days. My goal is to get my new partner paid their commission as quickly as I can. There is something magical about the very first commission. It makes it real. It builds their belief and has magic fairy dust all over it. I know that the faster I can get them paid, the more excitement and belief that it will create for them. Here's another tip. Focus on getting your new business partner paid as quickly as possible to help build their excitement and belief. Another thing I have learned over the years is that my success grows exponentially when I have personally enrolled new people in groups or blocks. Let me explain. Initially, there was nothing strategic or intentional about it. I had my head down and I was going as hard as I could. There wasn't a lot of strategies involved. Years later, I was at an exclusive leadership event when I heard Eric Warhe teach on enrolling 20 people in 30 days. It was a light bulb moment for me. As I looked back at what I had built over the years, and that theory was true, any residuals I had built could be tracked back to surges or blocks of people enrolled by Bobby and me and in compressed periods. You could have enrolled the same number of people as I did over 12 months and have very little energy or results, but enroll 20 people in 30 or 45 days, and boy, oh boy, the energy is high and the chance for big things happening is much bigger. Now that I am aware of the impact of enrolling many people in short blocks of time, I train people to understand that if they want to kickstart their business, they need to go on enrolling in an enrolling spree. You may be wondering how I can control this. You cannot predict if or when someone will say yes, right? That's 100% true. You certainly can't. You can, however, control the number of people you are contacting and connecting with every day because you're the one that has to take the action. After all, it is a numbers game, and numbers never lie. If you want to enroll 10 people this month personally, you will have to have 50 or more real conversations. Don't get scared with that number. Sometimes when the number is right, you could talk to 15 people and the timing could have been perfect for 10 of them. There are always exceptions to these numbers, but over time, they are pretty accurate. The numbers will vary, but as your skills get better, the number of people you enroll will improve greatly. How many names do you need to have on your oh so important prospecting list? A lot. And I have to say, it better be a list that's constantly growing too. Don't let it die down. Over time, you will need to accumulate hundreds and even thousands of names. I want you to know that dipping your toe into this business will not get you very far. You need to dive in and get busy. Your mentor will be with you every step of the way. It is one of their main priorities. If it's not, you need a new mentor. A while back, I enrolled a girl who enrolled another girl. They enrolled at the same time. The girl enrolled by my prospect was hungry to succeed. She used $200 of her last $250 that she had in her bank account to sign up. She caught the vision and wanted to know how fast she could earn that money back. I walked her through the first few steps and off she went. She did a post on social media platform, showed a picture of her results after just a few days on the products. That post achieved crazy attention. I informed her how to respond to each person who commented and that her goal was to take those comments offline and into a live three-way conversation with me. For 5 days straight, she had me booked on three-way calls every 15 to 20 minutes. I have never done so many calls before what they brand a new person in my career. Many things happened because of this massive action. First, she got a handful of new enrollments. This is a big deal because it was all cold market. She didn't know any of the people who responded to the post. Second, for those 5 days, she took 15 pages of notes during the conversations that we had. It was like a crash course in prospecting and a perfect training opportunity for her. She earned back her investment and did very well at the start of her business. Remember, enrolling one or two people over extended periods just won't get it done. It's great to be a consistent enroller, and it is great to have personal enrollment goals every month. But if you're looking for explosive energy on your team, it starts with you and the amount of new energy you can create by enrolling a large number of people all at the same time. Here's another tip. Compress as much energy and as many enrollments into a short time to create massive energy. I am 100% willing to be anywhere at any time for a new partner. They get my absolute full attention if they live 2 hours away and have people who want to meet with me twice a week. I drive the miles and I show up. My goal is to find the most excited, most influential person in the room. That can only happen if I'm in the room with them. Whether it is a live in-person meeting or a Zoom call, I want to be present and with the new person as often as I can. I cannot with as many people I connect with as many people as I can so that I can start creating new relationships. I'm looking for the visionaries and the runners, and once I find them, we run. I enrolled another girl who enrolled a very excited girl who had a lot of influence. She lived a lot more than 80 miles from me, and wow, was she making things happen. I drove to her house and the homes of other newly enrolled people on her team 2 or 3 times a week for at least 6 months. Maybe that doesn't seem like a great deal to you, especially if you commute every day to work. These in-home presentations were all held in the evening, and I live in Southern California, so I have one word for you: traffic. It would sometimes take me 2.5 hours one way to reach my destination. I drove each mile with a smile on my face, knowing I was building an amazing future for myself and my family and helping to add fuel to the fire burning on this expanding new team. My efforts with that excited group of people were a major contributor in growing our business to 6 figures in 9 months. The return on the investment of all that driving and hours away from my family doing presentations was far greater than the consistent effort it took to create it. Sadly, so many people just don't seem to be willing to put in this type of effort. Most people begin their network marketing career with a full-time job and a very busy life. I get it. And I did too. I worked on my feet 10 to 12 hours a day when I began. I had a toddler and 2 teenagers at home. I was about as busy as you can be, and yet I made sure that in the evening I was in somebody else's home, sharing with them the vision of a better future as many times a week as I could. You need to be willing to put in a lot of concentrated effort for some time. How long? That depends on too many factors to give you a perfect answer. It depends on the pocket of people you find. It depends on the level of influence the people you meet possess. It depends on the sense of urgency that you and your team build. It depends on the amount of discomfort you're willing to live and while you get this thing done. Your ability to succeed will directly relate to your ability to be uncomfortable and to manage the unknown. Sound hard? Let me tell you something. You were made for hard things. Pushing past what feels comfortable and making your life harder for a reason will allow you to live with freedom and choices for a lifetime. We have bought into a big fat lie that it doesn't feel good. We're not supposed to do it. Really? Go and read any biography of an elite world-class athlete and ask them if their training regimen felt good. Go and speak to any Fortune 500 CEO and ask them if their journey was simple and without pain. Go to the gym and try to build some muscles. It hurts. The only way to grow a muscle is to tear it down first. The healing of that broken down tissue is where all the growth begins. Do not kid yourself into thinking that building a six-figure residual income is going to be easy or feel good all the time. I hated being away from my family. I hated being gone all day, getting home when everyone was asleep. I hated missing out on things, but it was all worth it. When I got to be home all day full time and when I got to have more choices because of the income I had created, how uncomfortable are you willing to get? And for how long are you willing to do it to be able to achieve this type of freedom? Sacrifice. In the urgency of my quest to get out from under current situations, I didn't have time to wait around for people who weren't ready. Looking back, this was a huge blessing. I was laser focused on my goal, and it was all I thought about. There was no balance in my life. When people said no to me, I wasn't even fazed. If people didn't want to engage in activity with me, I didn't think twice about it. I was busy looking for that next person who was ready to engage on a journey of freedom with me. Maybe the next person would be my new partner. Maybe not, but I never made people feel less than worthy because of their choice. I just didn't have time to wait around for them. I kept moving. I realized very quickly that some things had to be removed from my life. I was not going to be able to build my business fast enough if I didn't make some space for it. What are you willing to give up temporarily to make this happen? This is hard for some people. They don't want to give up anything. They want to keep their lives as comfortable as possible. They don't want to give up TV or game night or sports or kids' activities. Yes, that's what I said. They didn't want to give any of that up. So I have seen more incredible people throw away what could have been a massive business because they were unwilling to make space for the things in their life that they really wanted to be happening. What it takes. Sometimes great success may require great sacrifice first. Why is that so hard? It is a powerful and beautiful message to teach your family. After all, you are all in it together. Allow them to participate in the journey. Then, when you reach your goals, the impact will be even more valuable and powerful for everyone. My kids had to sacrifice, they had to help out a lot, and they had to step up and do things they didn't normally do. They didn't always love it, and neither did I. Recently, I was having a conversation with a young man who was 22 years old. He is an aspiring music producer, and he really does possess some talent. In our conversation, I made a few suggestions to him. One of them was getting a job at a music label, filling any opening he could just to get his foot in the door. What an opportunity to make some great connections, aka networking. His response still bothers me. He told me he wasn't willing to start at the bottom. How many people have given up on their dreams because it was going to take too much time and effort to make it happen? Can I tell you something? My kids are the hardest workers. They all have an incredible work ethic. They're driven and they inspire me with who they have become as young adults. Just maybe a little of that came from them seeing that it takes hard work, sacrifice, and commitment to reach goals. No matter what generation you come from, that message is timeless. Sadly, many people have become addicted to the status quo. We have created comfortable lives that are much smaller than the ones we are supposed to be living. Lives that are all in the name of safety, comfort, and familiarity. The thing is, for many, comfort zone isn't actually comfortable. It's just familiar. To build a six-figure income in your network marketing business, you need to be uncomfortable for a while. You need to talk to people often. You need to share your why and your vision bravely. You need to ask questions and be bold. I often ask myself why more people aren't in this profession. I know the reason already. It isn't because it's hard and doesn't require anything specific to be a part of it. The downfall is that it takes real work, and that work is on the top of all the other things going on in people's lives. I'm going to let you in on something. Once you've created a full-time residual income, you will wake up every day like you've won the lottery. It is a lifestyle unlike what any other profession can provide. The sacrifices required to make this type of business happen are totally worth it. I promise. Don't insult God by dreaming small. He created you for more than just existing. So to recap, make room in your life for your business. For 12 months straight, be in massive recruiting mode. Make it a goal to be out sharing your presentation and casting vision at least 2 times a week. Be fully engaged and plugged into anything your team and company have to offer. Grab an accountability partner or two to help keep you on track. Have a goal of getting at least 10 no's a week. Take the time to train your new business partners. This will leverage your time and allow them to grow. Hey, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I needed this. Thank you, Brittany. I love that. You stayed around and were able to find something here that impacts you, because that's what this is about. The thing is, for many, a comfort zone isn't actually comfortable. It's just familiar. So that is the end of chapter 8. And we thank Brittany for sticking around with us. And, you know, as we are building our businesses, we have to learn from the other business builders who are successful. And when we get back to them, it's always the same story. This is not a fast money-making business. No business is. There is no business where you can make fast money. I don't care if you even dip into cryptocurrency. They always make that light shine brighter than it really is. So do your homework. Check your heart and your soul. Dig deep into the passions that you have in your life, and look at those important ones that really burn in your heart and your soul that you want to have happen in your life. That's where that fire is. Connect to it, stay with it, keep yourself going forward. And if you change the turn on the journey because it's your choice, because it's part of the action steps you're taking, and you have an aha moment, or you have a, I guess I'm not as passionate about that as I thought I was. I really am more passionate about this. Give yourself grace and say it's okay for you to go that way, because it's your life, it's your journey. Your success will be because you decided to make it a successful journey. And it's not going to happen with magic. And you're in this Facebook group. We're here to encourage you. I'm here to encourage you. I have a monthly group coachathon. You can jump on first Tuesday of every month at 7:15 Eastern time in the evening, that you can get some help if you need it. Sometimes we do some training in there where you get a little bit of information that maybe can help you in a skill that you're working on, or a skill that you've never thought about working on before that you want to take more action on. There's always someone here ready to help you, encourage you, and push you forward in your journey as you try to encourage others as well. So don't just be the one that absorbs all the energy. Absorb energy and give it out to share what you learn and inspire other people as you go on this journey. So happy to have you here. I hope you come back into the group, because we're working on video. We're working on live video. We're being challenged this month to get in the group, do an introduction video of yourself. If you've done one before, it's okay. Do another one, because we're trying to get this group back up and running and people reintroducing themselves to each other, because networking, you can network in here. You can meet other people, you can be kind and gracious, just don't go spamming them with a link to buy your products. That is not the way a true entrepreneur works. And I know if you're here, you want to be a successful entrepreneur, living the lifestyle with grace, love, no judgment, and knowledge of how to do it the right way by building relationships. So until next time, this is Coach Margene. I'll see you here next Sunday, 6 p.m. We will be going on to chapter 9, which is creating a culture. And I'm excited about that one. And we will see you when we see you. Have a nice evening. Mwah, mwah. Bye-bye for now. Thanks, Brittany. I appreciate you being here.